Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast for August 27th through September 3rd. I use the Osho Zen Tarot, and I'm very excited to be with you at this recording. This whole week is so exciting. The last week or so of Mercury retrograde, a lot of aspects with the eclipse that just went down, and a lot of continuing of this reflecting, reviewing, redefining, right? How we see ourselves and how we see the world, and how we're going to allow that to be different as we move forward in this next 6 months of this new time phase. I will be releasing my novel, The Reiki Apprentice, in October. It is a full-length novel, memoir, non-fiction book based on true stories. It's my story, my comeuppance of how I learned to heal my life with Reiki and applied metaphysics. It documents my entire apprenticeship I had with my Grand Reiki Master. I feel very proud and I feel very healed by it, and I'm very grateful to be sharing that experience with you. I will also be releasing a series of mini books entitled The Nowosphere. The first one will be available free, and so please do subscribe to this YouTube channel and you can stay in tune, and I will keep you informed of how to go about doing that. I will also be sharing a free ebook called The Higher Self, which is also another mini book that I will be offering to subscribers to my website. That's not set up just yet, but please do check the description box below. Check out my new website. I just redid it. None of the links are active as such just yet, but it will give you an idea of my books, little synopsises about them, and it'll give you an idea of where we're going with this information moving forward. So again, thank you for joining me. I feel very blessed. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start shuffling the cards, taking a nice breath, and calling in our angels, our guides, our ascended masters, all those divine, beloved, light beings, perhaps totems, animal totems, loved ones that have passed from this life, perhaps that we wish to call in their wisdom, that it may channel through this reading, that it may channel through me in the messages I am guided to share, and always in service to the highest good of all, the highest good of all. What is our divine insight for this next week? Oh, we had some poppers. September 27th to, no, August. What is our divine guidance for August 27th to September 3rd of 2017? We thank you, these divine cards, this beautiful oracle. Okay, and we had 2 sets of poppers, so we're going to stop there, and we're going to see what we got. We got a few here, and we got one down here. Oh, we might need to pull. Yep, we need to pull a few more. Okay, so let's keep going. May this reading serve everyone, anyone that is guided to come across it, whether it be for a few short moments or for the entire reading. May this reading serve all of us, myself included. Myself included. And we bless you, and we bless you, and we thank you for this blessed day, this divine heaven on earth day. We give thanks for the sweet counsel that our angels and our guides serve us through this reading this week and every week. Okay, oh, perfect. We had 3 more fall out. Okay, perfect. We will start here. What a beautiful reading this starts out. This is, okay, so we're fully coming into a sense of the feminine here. This is very, very powerful in the way that it speaks to slowing down. It speaks to regeneration, restoration, and all those qualities that are grounding and still and penetrable, fertile. So whether you are literally looking to create a family and make a baby, so to speak, or you are carrying a baby and you're about to give birth, and perhaps your baby is a human being, perhaps it is a project, it is something that you've been working on or thinking about, co-creating with others for some time. And because we're in the feminine in this reading, what speaks to me is this first card, patience. So this is very, very important. And you see the moons, and I love how we just had that powerful eclipse on August 21st. And this patience card symbolizes that divine feminine, the divine mother, who is already fertile, but who is in waiting, right? There's a sense that we cannot force that which has its own divine timing. And that's one of the important messages for this week, is that we're almost there. We're almost ready to switch gears and to get into that masculine creation, that masculine aspect of co-creation with the divine. Yet, right now, while we're still in the retrograde, what this reading is showing is to relax, is to continue resting, gathering your energy, continue residing and being comfortable, learning to be comfortable in the space of the unknown, learning to be receptive and open to the divine downloads and intuitive occurrences that happen that are there to enlighten you, to enliven you, to inspire you, and me, all of us. So it's interesting because there is an aspect of allowing yourself to be penetrable, right? And so often we can walk around in the world and be very afraid or feel that the world is not a safe place, and so we walk with shields, and it's very normal. And these are topics I address in the Namaste book series. We've been hurt, we've suffered from abuse, we've suffered from addiction, we've had all sorts of interesting and possibly tragic things occur to us over our life, and the healing of those things has yet to be complete. So we still walk with those heavy shields of protection, whether it weight, whether it be projecting thoughts about how we got to take care of we got to protect ourselves. The world is an unsafe place to be. And when we have those shields up, and believe me, I know all about those shields. You'll read about it in my book, The Reiki Apprentice. I walked with shields for 40 years of my life, and only after 40 years did I begin to realize, or just allow myself to consider, that the world could be a safe place without having to walk with those heavy shields. It became exhausting at a certain point once I realized that I could lighten my load. And the point that I'm trying to make here, taking a moment to get there, is that as I lightened my load, and as we lighten our load and release with this eclipse energy that has just happened, as we lighten our load and we release truly those heavy bags, those impacts of emotional baggage, those shields of protection that we needed to use for so long traversing this planet, as we begin to forgive completely and forget those pains of the past, really lay them down, lay the burden down, what happens is you become activated with a different level of life force energy that is of service to your highest good, that is attuned with the highest light, because you're allowing yourself, as you release the past and grudges and unforgivenesses and just issues of stuff that you've been carrying around, right? How you think the world is, or how you think you need to protect yourself still in the world. As those things are released, there's more of you, the truth of you, in your full power and authority. There's more room for you to show up. And when you are in your full power and authority, in your right state of white lightness, you become magnetic. You go beyond vibration, and you become magnetic, and you magnetize to the Almighty Source, whether you call it the Sun, the Great Spirit, God, Creator, Allah, whatever name you give it. The less stuff of the world that you're carrying around with you, the lighter you are, and the lighter your journey. The lighter you are, the more space there is between each cell, the more space there is between each thought, the more space there is between each breath, the more space there is for spirit to impregnate you, whether you are male or female, to give you a divine download of grace, to bestow unto you absolute illumination. Even if it's in bite-sized little portions, one at a time, that's usually enough. A little goes a long way when it comes to God realization. A little goes a long way. And so, this is all, we're still talking about the first card. This patience, this feminine, divine feminine energy. This is not the uprising of the women like becoming men. That kind of like women finding their power and then becoming masculine. No, this is about men and women and everyone who identifies in between. You have to watch trinary eclipse video. I will put a link here. Very powerful. I had some mega downloads during this eclipse, and you know, these are teachings that I have been walking with for many, many years, and I made a little video. I'll put the link up there, and I made a video inviting you, the watcher, to consider these concepts, and they're very metaphysical and esoteric, so I welcome you, and take what resonates. Take what resonates. May it serve you, right? But coming back to this patience card and this divine feminine, it's whether you are, you know, male, female, identify as anything in between, the aspects of male and female energy still exist. They exist within us. It's the yin yang. They exist in nature. It exists everywhere. And for this week, we are invited to learn how to become penetrable by the appropriate kind of energy. Now, we don't want to be penetrated by dark energies. We don't want to be penetrated by people with manipulative energies. We don't want to be penetrated by, you know, people that have the wrong kind of intentions, say, right, to hurt or to harm. What we are talking about here is creating such a clear vessel. That's what the feminine is. It's a womb. It's a vessel. It's just creating such an empty, clear, clean space that divine can plant its holy seed. And I know this is sounding very sexual, but stay with me. That divine can plant its holy seed within us. And as we meditate and we pray, and we act in grace, and we receive in grace, and we share in grace, we extend grace, kindness, loving, thought, word, and deed, that seed is watered. And that seed is connected to your truth. And so, again, we're still in the period of just resting, relaxing, learning how to be still, learning how to be that vessel, and not have all the answers, and not have everything figured out. Just relax. Just relax. And I know it's easier said than done, right? Some people's lives may feel like they're really being turned over. And you're like, what are you talking about? I can't relax. I need to do X, Y, and Z. And sure, I'm sure there's 3D things that we need to be mindful of and stay on top of and whatnot. Yet, it's not everything. And there's a space and time in between those times of action to rest, relax, be quiet, connect with Source, be empty so that you can become full, but not of your own thoughts and all your own thinkings and driving yourself crazy of how you think things need to show up or work out, but rather the divine plan impregnating you, whether you are male or female, with the Most High illumination. And that light, that seed of light that's planted within you, will help light the way for when it's time to get your masculine on and start to make those moves in the world, which is coming. It's coming. But for now, rest, relax. Okay, and this is such a beautiful, beautiful reading because in so many places we have this feminine energy, but with this beautiful masculine energy right next to it. So we have playfulness, and this came up last week, I believe, too. And this card is all about sharing your love and your light, but from a place of ease and of joy. And a place that is, I can't help but not be a clown. I'm a clown. That's what I am. Woohoo! I'm just going to be silly, and I'm going to just throw my love and my light all over the place, and I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm not going to try to control how my playfulness or how my offerings and my gifts proliferate themselves, right? So again, there's that idea of the seed. There's this idea where we are throwing our seeds of divine creation, of that which is truth to us, of that which is your inherent gift, throwing those seeds, but not being concerned whether those seeds fall to the soil, whether those seeds fall on rock, whether they fall in water, whether they fall on sand. We're not trying to plant seeds. We're not trying to harvest a million crops on the other side. We are simply being present in the moment, being true to ourselves, and honoring that light within ourselves and sharing it with others without expecting anything in return, right? And that's very feminine. It's the more masculine that's like, okay, I'm giving to get something, right? Whereas the feminine action that's inviting us this week is just to be that gift that you are. And we went into that last week. Again, I'll put a link right here for last week's reading. We went into that last week. You can't help but be true to yourself. When you relax and you get to know who you are in that beautiful, still space, it is so very powerful, actually. There is so very much power. Again, you become magnetic. Things come to you. You don't have to go out there and try so hard to get what you think you need, what you want. And in fact, you become so attuned and so illumined to a much broader scope that is in tune with your higher self of what will truly serve you, which is often very different of what the mind thinks that we need in order to be happy. So there's this play going on this week, but we are fully invited to do the playfulness. And in this last week or so of this retrograde, understanding plays a big thing. Because as that eclipse, whether we did a ceremony or we released, we went up to the mountain here, and just a few of us, and we took the drum and some sacred items and sage and whatnot, and we found a big, huge rock in the beautiful mountains with beautiful views, and we did a ceremony. We did a ceremony where we each went around the circle, and everyone took turns expressing what it was that they were ready to eclipse out of their life. In other words, what they were ready to release, to let go of. Habits, patterns, grievances, disturbances of their mind, addiction, all sorts of stuff. And we just kept going around the circle until we felt like, okay, we feel good. We feel that we've honored and there's nothing more to say at this time. And so we close the circle. So the idea is that whether you did a conscious eclipse ceremony of that or any other kind or not, the universe, through the astrology of the eclipse, the universe was doing it for us on our behalf of the greater whole, of this whole planet. And like that, the bird is on the edge of this cage, and it's flapping its wings, and it's so excited but also afraid to jump out of the cage and to join its friends and to fly. Look at all their friends just flying like, wee, we're free out here, come join us. And this bird is shaking, is nervous, is trepidatious, but it's also coming into a new level of understanding that takes them from fear to excitement and that invites them into a new world. So like that, all those aspects that the eclipse is eclipsing or has eclipsed out of our lives is bringing us into this period where this week is for some of us, it's going to feel like that where you're in one dimension, but it's that Alice in Wonderland where you have that looking glass thing and you kind of like, you feel like, whoa, I could totally put my hand through the wall right now. I could totally get a whole different sense of a much bigger picture of what my family member's illness is all about. I can totally get a sense of what I'm supposed to do with this project. That's the receptive. That's the feminine. That's the relaxing into it and receiving. That's the penetration that I'm talking about, is that divine inheritance of inspiration that gives you the ability to realize that those bars on the cage were actually only bars in your mind, limitations of the mind. And as you realize that, you're like, oh my God, I've actually always been free. Woo! And you get to take off. And what's right next to this understanding card is celebration, which is the divine feminine again. It's you and your friends, and it's dancing. and the waters. And whether it rains or not where you are, this represents emotional balance, emotional harmony, and this divine aspect of freedom, of release, of sharing your dance, with others, sharing your light with others, right? We have the playfulness and the celebration. Very, very beautiful, powerful cards. And this is also nature. When was the last time you were out in nature, barefoot, grounding, connecting? And that's also another aspect of divine feminine that is literally earthing and grounding ourselves with Mother Earth. Changes our energetic makeup. We're surrounded by so many electromagnetic frequencies, so many people suffering from headaches to vertigo to ringing in the ears, from all these very interesting things, including depression, and a lot of it is electromagnetics. This new lifestyle, this new World Wide Web we live through, and some are more sensitive than others. And what's the point? Why am I even saying that? Why am I even talking about that? I'm talking about that because nature is such a beautiful, easy, simple healer for us. When's the last time, you were barefoot on the earth, on the sand, on the dirt, on the beach, in the water, in the rain, on the rocks, wherever it is? Do yourself a favor this week, because that again helps to align ourselves, ground us with the Mother Earth energy, and it allows us to be nurtured and healed by Earth. And again, helps us to create that empty vessel, help to create that space where we are receptive, where we can receive that divine illumination. So, what's also here is this new vision card, and we had this several months ago. And there's a person right down on the bottom, hands and knees, crawling. And from that being comes this like warrior person that's like new vision. Boom, it's a major arcana card in this deck. So this is going from a place of like doing the same thing in the same way over and over. And believe me, I can totally relate to this with my books, of just like of having a pattern and feeling like this is good, I can rock this, I can work this, but it doesn't really go anywhere, right? This is this next level where as you learn to be still, get grounded, celebrate, be open, share your gifts, your ideas, and just let yourself try on what it's like to be you, fully in your power, fully sharing your gifts, celebrating and enjoying them. And what happens is that we go from doing things in the same way over and over again to being inspired from being this divine vessel. We go to being this divine inspired vessel, which becomes activated from the square to the triangle to the circle, right? From the earth, from the subconscious to the conscious to the superconscious, we become like filled up, illuminated, activated with this new vision, right? So again, not the time to launch the new vision while we're in the retrograde, but it's the time to, oh my God, to gather the information, to create the correct conditions. So again, that vessel is open and clear so you can receive those divine illuminations. We always say it, meditate, 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 right? It's free. It's free. You can do it yourself. It is so easy. I will put a link to all of my meditation videos right here. Some of them you just listen to, you put the headphones on, the voice guides you, and some of them are a little more interactive. But it's your ticket to being in the world and not of it, is getting to know who you are as a multidimensional being. So the last three cards of this reading are very beautiful. We have the Lover's card, and this one's just always fun because, I don't know, everyone seems to really always want to know about love. And the truth is, your relationship love reflects your relationship of self-love with yourself. Always, always, always. And, where there's a relationship, there's karma, there's lessons. It doesn't have to mean the lessons have to be hard or bad or good or whatever. But it's okay. What I just want to say even though we got the Lovers card, is it's okay not to be in a relationship. Just before we get into all this juicy heart stuff, is that it's okay. It's okay to be alone. And sometimes you need to say, I think I need to be alone and do this journey by myself. And it's not time for a relationship. It's not time to unfurl and go down that road, because anyone who's been in a relationship knows that it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of energy. And depending on where you're at, where this eclipse, this timeline split is taking you, it might be to further go deeper in your relationship, or it might be, with another, or to go deeper in the relationship with yourself and your work, or your path of spirituality, or what have you. So all of that said, this is a very fun card, though, all the same. Because even when we do take ourselves alone on that journey and we're like, no, I'm good on my own. If it's meant to be, if there's a divine communion and connection that's supposed to happen for you, it's going to happen. Ready or not, and whether you want it or not, okay? So, the Lovers. This card speaks to you aligning with someone that you have known before. Whether it's in this life, but really, and what I mean by that is like an ex that's coming back, but also this speaks even stronger to someone that you've known from before, a past life energy. And we had the Lovers, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so, and it came twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row. And it was like the energy was there, it was revving up to tell us like to pay attention, to be aware. And if it hadn't happened yet, it was going to happen the next week. And now it's coming back. So this speaks to me that if it did not happen for you at all in that last time phase, that it's coming around. And if you are interested, just be aware. Prepare your vessel. Be empty. Have no expectations. They might show up and be a completely different person than you would have been attracted to, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 years ago. But their past life resonance is that which vibrates with you at this time now. What I mean is the you that's saying yes to your heart, not the you that did exist 3, 1, 5 years ago. That was a different version of you, and that version of you called in a different resonance of a type of lover, of a type of lesson, of a type of growth period with another sacred human. So just knowing this can also speak to that if you are in a union, if you are in a sacred bond, that this next level of trust that you're experiencing, of this I am power through that third chakra breakthrough and bringing it down to earth, that this is going to bring about a revelation in your partner. And it almost speaks to, if you never felt a past life connection with your partner before, it's almost like, you're going to start to recognize things or see things in yourself or in them that's going to help you remember in special ways that you're here again together. Sometimes when a lover is new, our whole life goes out the window and it becomes all about that person. You stop talking to your friends, you start, you stop doing a lot of the other things that you were doing in your life, perhaps because you become so consumed with this other. And this aloneness card is saying, like, that's fine, get cushy, be nourished, receive affection, give affection, get juicy, be all that and have all that, yet balance. Balance, balance, balance with your alone time. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Stay true to your path. Stay true to your path. Keep trusting the truth in your heart. And this card that we end on is moment to moment, which is so beautiful and powerful because it reminds us to stay grounded with Mother Earth. It reminds us to do our practices. Do you do Tai Chi? Do you do Qigong? Do you practice Reiki? Do you know pranayama, breathing? Do you meditate? Do you just even make time to take your shoes off and spend time in nature and get grounded? Stop thinking, stop speaking, practice silence for 5 minutes, for an hour, for a whole week. Get back. Use whatever practices you're guided to get back to a sense of, how can I ground my awareness? How can I ground myself in the present moment so that I may stay in tune with the truth of my oneness that is always in connection with the divine, that keeps me on that momentum that I discovered in this beautiful breakthrough recently, or that I am discovering through this eclipse period of I am not who I was before. Boom, I am that I am. I am this whole new, different version of myself, but the truth is that that version of yourself has always been inside you. It's just those aspects that were blocking it are now removed. We're moving again away from all that makes sense, that needs to make sense in the 3D, to that which is beyond logic. We're moving from reason to faith this week, big time, with that trust card. And last week we were coming into initiation with it. And again, many different fractals with this Lover's card. Is it time for you to be alone and to be your own lover? To be in relationship with yourself? Or is it time to have relationship? Because it can go both ways. You can be so adamantly against relationship that you block any opportunity to have fun and to explore the potentials. On the other hand, if you are in a relationship, what level of relationship is it at? Are you at the beginning, where it's pure chemistry and attraction? Is it the energy that's moving up to the heart? Is it that energy that is becoming God realized? Are you recognizing now a past life connection with this divine love in your life? Are they seeing you in the same way? Can you lift each other up and ride this magic carpet of trust together? Can you see the truth in each other so clearly that you can allow that? And if otherwise, can you love yourself enough to continue allowing that to be? How? Meditate. Keep in tune with the moment. Keep yourself in the now moment, which always aligns you with God, with Source, with your power in this present moment. Always. Always. Louise Hay has a wonderful line that she says, what does she say? The present moment is the point of power. Or the point of power is always in the present moment. When you can fully and truly inhabit your truth, honor it, embody it, speak it, bridge it to this earth, you are living heaven on earth. You are living heaven on earth. You bridge heaven on earth and you begin to live in the fourth dimensional frequencies. Outside of the 3D frequencies, you begin to live in 4D frequencies. The fourth chakra, love, compassion, as your higher self, forgiveness, peace. Present moment being. This is so exciting. Again, I'm going to put another link right here, if I can, for Trinary or Trinary intro. It was the Trinary eclipse video, full of all sorts of juicy metaphysical insights about this recent eclipse, and also just your multidimensional being in general, and moving from 3D to 4D, 5D, and whichever Ds you want to move to. Thank you so much for being here. I feel very blessed, and I send the blessings forward. May you enjoy a beautiful week. Namaste.